that we've got a record of what we've done today, and we'll be happy to share that with you at the end. What's happening to me? Right, so as Anna sort of briefly covered, we've been a partner of EduServe and for many years, and now JISC, and we have provided the Compasswide solution for a large number of educational sites, and I know several of you are on the site or on the call today. The main intent of today's webinar is to try and imagine giving all your students, faculty and staff a cognitive power tool that can improve their writing skills, stimulate the creativity, and increase their productivity. I'll be giving some background to the philosophy of MindGenius and some practical examples as it's used in the education space. But first, let me try and explain why we have such a passion and belief in our products. Right? At the core is our use of mind mapping, or brainstorming as it's often known, as it has a huge potential for visual thinkers. It's a creative activity, and it's really used for the very start of anything that you want to do. You can do it on your own, or you can do it in a group. It works either way, but it's a very constructive way to start creating a class curriculum, organizing study notes, writing a dissertation, planning a wedding, planning a vacation, anything that you can think that you want to do. A brainstorm or a mind map is a great way to start. What we like to flag at this sort of stage is that the brainstorming is an opportunity to bring forward your creative energy, right? And sometimes when we do that, you get bad ideas thrown into the mix, ideas that won't work, but that's quite normal, right? It's quite a realistic thing to do because you haven't figured everything out yet, you're just starting. The basic principle, get your ideas out on the table. Some will be good, some will be bad, right? Everything isn't going to be great. So whether it's just you or a whole team, just get the attitude right. Just be open about what you're doing. And by that, you'll be open to hearing and seeing everybody's ideas, regardless of the first impressions. Sometimes it'll take a bunch of bad ideas to get a few good ideas, but you'll never get to the truly great ideas and let you just get everything out there and then sort it out. The attitude to brainstorming helps make the whole experience a bit more fun, right? You're much more likely to have a few good ideas, right? Once you've got the ideas flowing, you'll see links between what folk are thinking about, put them in a mind map, and when you've done the brainstorming, select the best ideas, organize, prioritize, evaluate, and pick what you'll go with. And for any kind of project, it'll work. Sometimes often the best ideas come from building on or combining different ideas. So you can look for opportunities to do that. Now, many of you will have used mind mapping on bits of pens and papers in the past, and I grew up doing much the same. So what does software offer over pen and paper as the alternative? Well, you will find there's much less need to focus on spelling, grammar, or sentence structure. You just use keywords, images, associations, and connections. It does boost confidence when it's used, brings back the fun into learning by bypassing some of the challenges that are associated with dyslexia. And it fundamentally keeps your information clean and organized. You don't really get the idea spaghetti that mind mapping with pen and paper can bring. You can constantly move and reorganize the information as you want it. Get the information down in a way that's selective, but it's not in a particular order. And you can start seeing links between information and the bigger picture at a glance. But the biggest thing it gives you is a permanent record that can continue to evolve as you add additional relevant knowledge can be built on the initial learnings. So imagine capturing all the study notes you need in one tool with the full search capability to find the information you need. And as the map grows, as further lectures and assignments are added, information can become categorized. In the example, we've used it important for test, and you can filter, analyze, use information in many ways to help with your studying technique. Mind mapping itself is powerful, and our applications go beyond mind mapping to provide additional tools that will help you succeed in whatever you're doing. It's a great method for creating, organizing, prioritizing, planning, and meeting. Imagine having all the background to your dissertation in one place with an ability to add vibrant images that could help you remember information. You can link to relevant websites, you can add reference documents, and when you want to turn the output into a submitted essay or a dissertation, simply export the whole map as a Word document for your final tweaks. You can use mapping to plan events like a conference or a student intake plan. Right. And our product is all about making ideas and information visual. Right. We recognize in today's neurodiverse world, our powerful visual capabilities can make a big difference how effectively people create, communicate, and learn. It does have a particular benefit for students with dyslexia and neurodiversity challenges, but it's not just for them. It will benefit all students and all staff and faculty members. Our products are approved by the British Dyslexia Association, and the visual representation of information can replace the traditional linear learning methods, resulting in better communication, learning, and knowledge retention. If we stand back and look at some of the roles, imagine if you're a teacher, a professor, an instructor, whether you have a PC or a Mac, there's so many ways that MindGenius can make a difference in your work. A faculty can use MindGenius for building lesson plans. Your mind map will keep growing as you add more information, link documents, and even images. If you're a student, you can build your own knowledge base for each class, then tag the most important notes for studying and filter to show only tagged notes. The students can take notes in class and use a variety of built-in views and tools to help make the studying more effective. And when it comes to exam time, use filtering to show only the notes you really need to concentrate on. We provide a central storage for all the study and all the lists of things to do. You can only see the information in a particular group if you're invited to the team. So we keep the security and visibility of information controlled by the user. Fundamentally, there are many outcomes from our mind map. You can make a class presentation, you can make a lesson plan, student class notes, project plans, a dissertation. Right. When developing software, we also recognize it has to be engaging and fun. So does a background photo make a mind map more effective? Does it help learn? Does it stick the information, or is it just fun? There's a balance to be had. And equally, adding images, does it enhance the learning process and memory retention? You can build a student success map in many ways, and we play about with some of the imagery in some of our collateral that we produce. Equally, for meeting agendas, right? Adding a visual image at the back, does it make it more attractive, more engaging? Does it help organize and run your meetings more effectively? The key fundamentally to any brainstorm is just get the ideas out. As I've said before, good or bad, once they're out, you can decide what you want, organize, prioritize, move it all about. Our products all work on type and return as quick as you can get the information in, right, and let you move it around to do what you want to do with it after that. We also have, although we have mapping at the core, we believe we need to drive ideas and study to completion and actually get stuff done. So dependent on the stage of what you're working on, we provide many perspectives to help you look at it at a different time and take the information from the map to offer 5 views of the information. I've covered the map in depth, which helps you capture, categorize, and organize the information. Right. Once you've established tasks, you can manage the work in progress with a task board that can be built to reflect your work processes as column headers. Move task cards along as each step is complete. Tasks can be managed individually or as subtasks of larger group of activities. And you can filter the board to hide complete tasks and only view what is in progress. As you add dates to your map, we produce a timeline that lets you manage your project's progress and status as well as identifying bottlenecks and risks to your schedule, so students can manage exam timetables, dissertation submission dates, anything that wants to give you a view of what needs done, in what order, how long it will take, who is doing it, and when it will be complete by. Our reports can highlight priorities, what's next to focus on, any delays, and you can sort all the information by project, status, due date, or title. We provide a hub that gives you all the tasks across all your projects in one place, all the study notes that you would want to look at, all your dissertation dates. It can be built to suit your exact requirements. But in the modern world, and particularly with the impact in the last couple of years, we understand that collaboration is critical for most projects, and we've gone and made it as simple as possible. With any of the maps, you have an ability to add conversation to each map branch and task card to instigate conversation with others around a subject. You can get clarification from colleagues or student groups, and importantly, the message guides them in one click to the exact area you want their opinion on. The @chat feature is a quick way to engage others in what you're working on, and the comments made are retained within the branch or task card, making it much easier to refer back to information at a later date, so avoiding having to trawl through hundreds of emails. Our overall project view gives you a dashboard view of everybody's tasks across all their projects, right? And you can filter it to look at your own tasks and look at your name. It might even help the student teams that are working together to spot the slackers and the ones who aren't contributing to the team task, because everything will be recorded and visible. As we're aware, many of the universities and colleges have moved to using Microsoft Teams, and there is an ability to have mind maps integrated within Microsoft Teams. So you can have a Teams call, get all your thoughts down in one place, make your meetings engaging and interactive, and collaborate with colleagues on projects on mind maps. And as your team changes the map during the meeting, you will see all the changes live. So in terms of where we're at, in terms of what we do, lots of organizations tie you down in complex routes, but we believe we give you options. Whether you have a Mac or a PC, we have a solution for you. Our Compasswide offering gives both applications for everybody. It's about students, it's about faculty, it's about staff, right? And we bring it to you at a substantial discount. We've always believed in the potential for education to transform people's lives and make communities stronger. And we've always priced accordingly. And we know it can help, MindGenius can make it happen with our experience in all our universities to date. To support your team, we have our YouTube channel with MindGenius, has many short 2-minute videos on the key features. And for your IT, we provide clear guidance documents for your IT department to roll out both products. As Anna's covered on, we do have a pricing that's hugely competitive. To give you an idea, our standard business license for one user is £160 plus VAT a year, right? And we sell hundreds of thousands of licenses all around the world into 196 countries, right? But we price our education offering, right, at a phenomenal discount compared to that price. We do provide an online offering for Mac-based use and any device with a browser, and a desktop offering for PC-based users that we offer both as an enterprise rollout and a take-home license that you can give it to your students to put on the laptops to take home with. Right, so as we started at the beginning of the presentation, we believe everything works out better when you start with a mind map, but the potential and what you do with it, we leave to you, but we open up and give you all the views. So that's at a top level sort of our offering. I'll open it up to questions, and if anything come in, Callum.
Yeah, we have a question regarding accessibility from accessibility statement. Some WCAG compliant.
Okay, I don't know the answer to that off the top of my head, Jessica, regarding the compliance to the WGCAG, but I'll look at that following this call and I'll get back to you directly. Anna, can I hand it back to you for?
Yeah, of course, that's fine. I've got a slide. Is there any comments that any of the existing site holders who use MindGenius, have you got any feedback about any use cases that you have at your institution, or anything that you have, where you found there are gaps that you would like to see maybe future development in? I think we're about a 50-50 split on the call with respect to sites who use it and new sites.
No, I think we've reached out, Anna, for yourself to the universities direct, because once we release the product to them, we have limited knowledge of what it's actually used for. We think we know what it's used for. But we'd love to have conversation with people to understand better what it could be used for and whether we do have any gaps. But we're not aware of them, but we'd love to know if we've got them.
So I think we've got another question in. From the mysterious Lib615.
Okay, right. To clarify, there are two different products, right? So MindGenius Online, right, is available to Macs and any device with a browser. Okay, anybody that has a PC would take the download version on the PC.
Thank you, Vivian.
But they would also get access to the online as long as they could get the PC online through a browser. The two products can pass files to each other in terms of uploading and downloading, right? But they would exist as different documents on the two products.
Okay. Thank you, Ash. Stephen, are you wanting to ask something?
Hi, yes, I was just typing, but I'll ask it verbally. Yeah, we've got the MindGenius for Windows, that's okay. But the MindGenius Online, I think we had a little bit of difficulty accessing that, at least I did in my initial tests. And that would be for our Mac users. So that might be something that we could look at. Specifically to try and just to get that so we understand it correctly and we can support the Mac users properly.
Yeah. Stephen, the way that the online works is we create a single account and make you the administrator. So literally you own the organization as a university and you would literally add your students to it. And that's sort of the way it works. The online is the desktop is much more about you issuing a license out to them and them adding it on the PC. But all you have to do is to give them access. And once you've got a group of students that are on your organization, they can all then collaborate together. So it's just a case of understanding how you can best add all your users onto it to get the most out of it, to be fair.
So is that a manual process where you would add a user to the online?
Yes. Yes, we're looking at giving you a bulk upload to be able to add in sort of departments, classes, whatever. So we're hoping to roll that out before the end of the year in terms of a bulk upload.
So we would probably use a ticketing system for that, and someone would have to request it.
Yes.
We would request it via ticket.
Ash, is it worth saying that people can request it and do request it through the desktop version of the software? So when I was at Leeds, people through the desktop version would actually try and connect with that MindGenius, that institutional MindGenius online account, and an email would come through to myself and my team. And then we would know that there was someone in the portal wanting access. So it was like a bit of a self-service element as well. It wasn't that they had to necessarily put a ticket in. They can actually kind of there's like something they click on, isn't there, Ash, that kind of automatically does that. And then an email comes through to the administrator account to let you know that someone's wanting access.
Yes.
That would be good, because then either the Windows wanting access to the online or Mac users who need to use the online, we could we would just basically manage it from like you're saying, once request came in, and then just authorise it, which I'm sure is straightforward once I understand it.
Okay. Happy to set up a call to take you through it, as with anybody else on the call today. If you want to get in touch, if you go through info@mindgenius.com, that's the best way of getting in touch with us, and then we'll work out the best way to help you. We can give you some more information.
Great, thank you.
Ash, do you want me to read out the messages in the chat, because I can see there's quite a few things have come in?
Yeah, Callum's been trying to answer them as we've gone along.
Has he?
My way down at the minute.
So there was one from Louisa Bell.
Yeah.
So there are a few issues with accessibility of MindGenius Online, and one of them is color contrast on the default templates.
Okay.
Is MindGenius planning on aligning the product more with WCAG, which I think is
Yeah, we'll have to look into that in more depth to give a proper answer. So it isn't something that we've specifically considered within the release, but no, that's a good point. So we'll take that on board.
Okay, and then sorry if I'm repeating anything you've already replied to, Callum. Then Jessica has said, am I right in saying that you can open your online mind maps on the desktop version?
You can download.
You can.
Yeah, you can. You have to save them as a MindGenius file, and then you can open them on the desktop. Yes.
Yeah. And then from Jill Shacklock, we originally had MindGenius for accessibility, a visual way to plan essays. It'd be good to understand how this aspect of MindGenius might be developed in the future, as it would be a good selling point within universities.
Okay, at the moment, we basically from the map create an export into a Word document that takes all the text from the map and presents it to the user in a way they can manipulate into the final document. So we integrate with the entire Microsoft Office suite. So that's the route that our students go down when they're wanting to get an output that they need to submit.
Okay, thank you, Ash. And then Vivian, now I know you're lived 615, has said, how does that work from the online button in MindGenius? Okay, hang on, as it takes you to a sign-in page for free trial or payment instead of our license.
Okay, it will take you there when you don't have an account, right? The minute you have an account set up, the first time you do it, it asks you to specify the MindGenius online account you want to match to, right? And once you've done it once, it remembers forever after that. So once you've got both accounts created, it'll link it up.
Okay, thank you. And Louisa has said, sorry, I'm reading them out because I think it's good for everyone to kind of have response to, do you know what I mean? And to also know the answers to all these questions, because it kind of gives a more complete experience. My other question is about the user experience. PC version is very different to online. Working with many users with processing problems, etc. This can be quite confusing. Are both of these products going to be shaped to create a similar environment?
No, right. The two products have at the core a mind map, and then provide task boards, timeline, and other views, right? But the nature of a web product in terms of the deployment, right, has different restrictions on it than a desktop does. So although we use similar techniques in how we do the information, we have to present it differently. And our expectation is that predominantly folk will use one as opposed to the other. So we provide the link should they want to do it, but no, they can't and won't look the same over time.
Okay. And then there's some comments from Faye Brockwell. Our staff love it for project planning, but we were not aware of the unlimited online. So we'll now look at rolling out to our Mac users, which is great. So can you work on one map in both online and desktop?
No, they're two different products. So the map has to exist as a different file in both products.
But you can export it so it's compatible with,
yeah, you can pass it, but the minute you've passed it from the desktop to the online, it becomes a different document in online. And when you start changing the online, the desktop won't change, right? But you can save your revised document back to the desktop. So pass it back and forward, but the one that's a master will always be the latest one you've worked on.
Okay, because it's a different format behind the scenes.
It's on two different products. So the
Yeah.
two different products are the two different files.
Is there integration with SharePoint or OneDrive for Business now?
Yes, on the desktop, and there's integrations and Dropbox as well.
Okay, sorry, I feel like I'm giving you 100 questions.
It's good.
Okay, yeah, so now I'm going to see all Callum's replies. Right, and I think, so I'm just reading, Faye, your comments about downloading. Yes, I think which we've just answered. So project team would all need to use the online version, whether they were Windows or Mac users,
Yes.
if they want edits to
Yeah.
be visible. Okay.
The big difference in the online is it gives you the view of everything you're working on. The desktop gives you an individual view of one thing. Right, so that's where they differ. And online has the collaboration and the chat feature much more effectively than the desktop, which is more a single user product.
Okay. Thank you, Ash. And also thank you everyone for populating the chat with questions. Is there anything else that anyone wants to add? The deathly silence of Zoom calls. Okay.
You got a slide for the?
I do. I was going to say, do you want me to
Yeah,
put
you
my
just do that.
end game slide up? So, do you need to unshare?
Okay, try that.
Okay, here we go. Oh, makes this one. Okay, so this is our final slide, but just as some contact details. So for those of you familiar with the Chest Help Desk, that's our contact details, help@chest.ac.uk. That's my details, Anna Clough at JISC.ac.uk, and the contact details for MindGenius, which I think I mentioned previously, is info@mindgenius.com. So if anyone, I mean, if you've got any questions, speak now, or either email myself or Callum or Ash after this call, and I'm sure we'll all get back to you, hopefully with information that's useful. Okay, so thank you, everybody. Thank you, Ash and Callum, for taking the time out this afternoon to present. I was thinking, I don't think, well, so as at Leeds, we had any MindGenius presentations, so it's been good from my point of view to get a slightly better understanding of the product, because I was used to deploying it rather than actually using it. So that's been appreciated. And thank you to everyone for giving their time this afternoon and coming on the call. I hope it's been of use. Okay.
Okay, thank you very much. Thanks, folks.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Thanks very much.
Cheers.
Oh, hang on a second. I think we've had one more question.
All right, that's fine.
So Jill said, it'd be great to hear how other unis are using MindGenius. Is there a JISC list or group? There isn't one specifically for MindGenius, but there is an assistive technology mailing list, Jill, which I can find out. And I know that there was quite a long thread about mind mapping software on it a few months ago. Have a look. Okay. One last question. Do you have supporting documentation for MindGenius 20 and MindGenius Online?
We have installation instructions as supporting documentation for how to roll it out, and we have inbuilt help in both the products for the detailed how-to type guides that you would be looking for, and a YouTube channel with many videos, 2-minute videos of the how-to do things. So we believe it's all covered, but if you get back in touch through info@mindgenius.com, we can answer that specifically for you.
I'll post the link in the chat for the YouTube channel.
Okay.
Oh, great. Thanks, Callum.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, everybody.
Cheers. No, that was great. No, thanks, Anna. Thanks for organising it all.
No, you're welcome. Are we stopping recording now?
Yeah, 2 seconds. Oh, there's so many buttons with this thing. So,